Let's welcome Mr. McCastle with applause.
Thank you very much. Talking to you today is by far the greatest honor in my career. So I want to thank you for this opportunity. Also, I would like to thank my family. Would you please stand? My wife, Martin, and my wife, Donna, and my son, Martin. Thank you for your support. Now, I'm going to answer the question that I'm going to pose to you. And it's, how in the world did we get here? I'm going to answer in the way that my 80-year-old Southern Uncle Doc would say. And he would say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And you can send a kid to college, but you can't make him think. You see, it took more than enrolling in Brooks College for you to succeed and be here today. It took more than me wanting to speak for me to be here today. It was our struggle, our relationships, our ambition, our challenge, our new habits, our character, our competence, our love, and our trust. But today, I don't have the time to elaborate on all the aspects of our journey, so I've chosen to share my struggle and my relationships and tell you parts of my story that encompass most, if not all, of them. Our struggle. I'm like many of you. I have not had the educational advantages of some very successful students. Although I had the advantage of having a mom that was well educated, I still struggled. When I was 19 years old, I was a very angry young man because I was struggling to be successful at Henry Ford Junior College in Dearborn, Michigan. I felt powerless to reverse this struggle until the influence of two men, our relationships. The first man's name is James Carroll McCullough, of whom I was named after. And the second man's name is Dr. Herman W. Hyatt, my spiritual father, mentor, and friend. Let me tell you about them. You see, my uncle knew that I wanted to be a preacher and that since I was going to be a preacher, to be successful, I needed to please my boss and to really help people. Such would require me to have both loving character and competence. He could think of no greater example than Dr. Hyatt, because he was a loving person, although he had 5 degrees. So my uncle took me to meet Dr. Hyatt, our challenge. And boy, can I remember that first meeting. We went to Dr. Hyatt's office, and when I met him, he asked me this question: what would you like to do with your life? I told him I wanted to be a preacher, and so he asked me, how were my grades? I said, okay, and he said, you can't have mediocre grades. I thought to myself, okay. And he went on to say, you have to do more than that to be successful. I don't know who was influential to you being here today besides yourself. And you deserve a hand for yourself getting here. But what I do know is that it was not you alone, because that's how life works. See, because of my struggle, my mom conspired with my uncle. And my uncle conspired with God. And then he conspired with Dr. Hyatt. And Dr. Hyatt conspired with Mrs. Hyatt, and so on. Because of their conspiracy of love for me and my success, I stand here today to deliver your commencement address for your great academic achievement. Give yourself a hand. How many of you realize that your parents or your guardians or your spouses conspire with your aunts and your uncles, your friends and mentors, teachers, and even God for you and your success? How's that for love? How could you lose? You're just going to succeed in spite of yourself. So today, please remember the people that assisted you in making it here today. Thank your supporters, thank your spouse, thank your children, thank your mentors and teachers and friends. And this one's going to be hard for you, but you know what I mean when I say this. Thank those critics and detractors that sometimes made you feel like you could not make it because you had. Can you do that for me? And also thank that higher power or God or faith or whatever it was that did not let you prevent you from making it here, whether it was supportive or not. Remember, look them in their eyes and say thank you. Because it's these gifts that you have received that enable you to enjoy this season in your life and in this year. The meeting at the elevator. Pray or preach, one or the other. Finally, let me tell you about the second lesson that I learned from Dr. Hyatt. I was standing waiting at the elevator in his office on 15th Street on what used to be across the street from San Jose Hospital. As I was entering the elevator at my first visit at his church, Dr. Hyatt said to me, "Would you like to preach next week?" And I said I would have to pray about it. You see, I wanted to have some way of getting out of it if I could, so that's why I said I had to pray about it. His response to me was, pray or preach, one or the other. And I thought to myself, hey, old man, and I know you thought this about some of your instructors. Hold on here. Hey, old man, you know, this is going to be different. Because instructors and people who care about us have a way of pressing us in a place that get us to move beyond our complacency so that we can become the people that you have become today. I felt like a fish caught in a net. Have you ever felt that way? How in the world did I get myself into this relationship and in this situation? He snagged me. You see, my new choices and relationships had led me to this new experience that challenged me to act on my dreams and to use my gifts and talents and to really become more competent. But because of this relationship and what I wanted, I said, I'll preach, yes. Needless to say, I wrote that sermon over 7 times. I don't know how many times you repeated an assignment to get it done right, but hey, I know you have. When I got up to speak, I was so nervous, I dropped all my papers all over the floor. The congregation felt sorry for me, but I got up and I delivered that message as well as I could. And I was on my way from then on. I grew. I am sure that some of you students have felt this way about your teachers and mentors. You see, Dr. Hyatt challenged me to learn learned new habits that strengthened my character and competence. I took on the challenge and grew into that person that embraced the character, lived out the habits, and mastered those skills. And did so, and so did you, I'm sorry. And you're here because you embraced the challenge, mastered some skills, and grew into the qualities of success. So we're here today, and we're better for it. Can I get a hand for that? We're better today because of our instructors and mentors pressing us to the wall when we would quit and getting us to move that next step forward. So I say to you, Brooks College graduate, if you're a graphic designer, design graphics now. And if you are a fashion designer, design fashions now. And if you are a fashion merchandiser, design fashions now, merchandise fashion now. And if you are a multimedia specialist, design multimedia now. And if you are a network technologist, network technology now. It is imperative that you do what you've been trained to do and educated to do now. And do it for the good of others that you've been called to do it for. Use your gifts and talents to help others. Come up with new innovations to help them. You live in the renowned Silicon Valley, and it's known for innovation. The world is waiting for you to come up with the next breakthrough graphic design, fashion design, merchandising, or network, and take what you have learned and use it. Do what one of my bosses and mentors told me. Bring value to your customers and your job, because the unfortunate truth is no one wants you in their life or on their team or in their company if you can't and don't bring value. Now, you have value to bring. Polish it and bring it wherever you go. Bring it competently. Bring it with character. And so to answer the question, how in the world did we get here today? It was our struggle. It was our relationships. It was our ambition. It was our challenge. It was our new habits. It was our character. It was our confidence. It was our love. And it was our trust. And maybe even more. You see, each of you has your story, and it's unique. And no one else can tell it for you because they don't know it as well as you do. It's your story to share. That's how you got here. Celebrate it today. And as you move forward in your career, be thankful for it all. Because without it all, you would not have become what you have become. The new you. You are today a graduate of Brooks College with an associate degree in graphic design, fashion merchandising, multimedia design, and network technology. Congratulations, Brooks College graduates.